This short video is about using the practice profile as a coaching tool. Let's do a quick review on what the practice profile is and why we might want to develop one. First, the practice profile defines what a program or initiative looks like if we were going to observe it in practice. And why we want to develop them is that it clearly defines the components and practices, and it's a prerequisite for sound implementation. So if our practitioners know what it's supposed to look like in practice, then they are able to implement it as intended. As an agency, if we all have practice profiles, it provides a common pathway into our work for all of our stakeholders. So how does a practice profile become actionable as a coaching tool? Well, first we know that for our practitioners, they'll have these clearly defined critical components, and they need this for sound implementation. As a coaching tool, the practice profile having these descriptions of what the activities look like in practice allows us to be better coaches around those practices. So the K3 Formative Assessment Practice Profile has an additional column with look-fors and open-ended questions, which I'll show you in a moment. And we suggest that you choose one critical component or one area to focus your coaching conversations on with your practitioners. Your practice profile has these three columns: expected, developmental, and unacceptable variations. This middle column, this developmental variation, is what we call the sweet spot of coaching. So that's where you'll want to begin your coaching conversations. This developmental variation area is for your practitioners who are heading in the right direction. So when they're falling in this developmental variation column with their practice, they could benefit from a coaching agenda that targets these particular skills. And there's some room for improvement there. And there's room to move them into the expected category or to support their movement in that direction. Now here's what the K3 Formative Assessment Practice Profile looks like with this additional column, this look-fors open-ended questions column. And what this column contains is a paragraph or two about what to look for when you see this expected implementation in the classroom or in your area of practice. And then there are some open-ended questions that an observer, a coach, an administrator, a peer, two peers that are coaching together, can look for and ask when they're coaching each other, or when an instructional coach is working, or when a building administrator is using this to coach. So here are some open-ended questions. We also have some questions that you could ask of students as well. And this helps to make the practice profile actionable as a coaching tool. Now, ways we have used this in PD session, this is one way, there are multiple ways you could do it, is we've asked coaches and administrators to do a close reading with a partner. Choose a critical component and do a close reading of that section. And close readings are, you can highlight, circle, underline, write in the margins, just read through it and mark up what you see. Here's just what this looked like when we did this in Chatham County with the coaches. They worked in partners, and they were looking for ways that they could use this as a coaching tool. And they were learning about it together. And then we followed with a partner discussion. What did you notice about this critical component? What did you notice about the look-fors and open-ended questions for this critical component? And how might you use this to support your coaching work? We did something similar at the AP Ready and Principal Ready sessions where we talked with building administrators about the same things. What utility does this document have for you? How might it be actionable for your work? So we want to take our practice profiles and make them an actionable document for our work. And this is one way you could go about that.